Hi everyone, good
Hello.
evening. Yes,
Yes.
day 38.
10 to 10 tonight.
Sweet honey from the rock.
Yep. Day 38 out of 50.
Good.
We're doing our catch up. Long day. Just got home not long ago. Yeah, so the only time we could have done it when you got home, but I felt like I didn't want to be rushed, or I just want to have a cup of tea before I go to the next part of my job. But yeah, good chapter.
Yes. So recap today is all on Judah. So Judah left his brothers and he went and dwelt in somewhere. Where was the land?
Canaanite.
He
Left his brethren. Hang out with Adullamite.
By the name of Hirah.
Yeah.
Hirah.
And there he met a Canaanite woman and married her.
Yes, and they had 3 sons. The oldest was the middle son Onan, and the youngest son was Shua. And so married a lady by the name of Tamar, all right, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and so the Lord killed him. And then after that, Judah said to Onan, the second son, fulfill your responsibilities as a brother-in-law and go in unto your sister-in-law to, have kids and that. But his thinking, produce an heir for him, for but Onan's thinking was, well, if she has a son, it won't be my son. So what he did was, the word says, he spilled seed so that Tamar was unable to conceive, and so that was evil in the sight of the Lord, and killed him also. And so by this time Judah said, look, you're not in the thing. And so by this time Judah said to Tamar, you go back to the land of your father. Go back to the land of your father, and then wait till Shua's of age, and then you can marry him. But the thing was, he had no intention of marrying off Shua after what happened to his 2 other sons, because he was thinking, oh well, if she marries him, then he might end up like his brothers and that. And so time passes by, and Judah's wife dies. That's right. And so he goes to the land of the Adullamite with Hirah, to visit his sheep shearers. That's right. Now, Tamar was told about this. Tamar was told about we're live. Excuse?
Go the Blues.
What else?
So why you're wearing purple?
Yeah. Close the door, please. So they... oh, no, I have to get off my chest. Just want to share this as an aside to all our New South Wales supporters about to watch the game. The stats as shared after game 1 or during game 1, 77% of teams that win the first game go on to win the series. So that will give you an indication of who's going to win, being the 3rd year in a row. Back to Judah. And so Tamar was told that Judah was coming, and so she took off her widow's clothing, and she had a veil over her face. And so after the time of mourning, Judah went to visit Hirah, and he saw Tamar, but he didn't know it was her. And he said, hey, why don't you sleep with me? And she goes, well, what are you going to give me? And he goes, well, I'll give you a goat and that, but I don't have it with me at the moment. And she goes, well, okay, then we'll leave me a pledge until you send the goat. And he goes, okay then. So he left his seal, his cord and staff with her. And so he went in unto Tamar. 3 months later, Judah hears that Tamar is with child, and so he orders her to be brought out and burned alive because of her great sin. But then as she's being brought out, she sent the items, the pledge, along with a message going, this belongs to the man who slept with me or something. Who I had relations with. And then Judah had a revelation, the revelation being, oh man, this woman is more righteous than me because I didn't give my son to marry her, and so he did not have relations.
Our line.
Yes, and so he did not have relations, intimate relations with her again. Now it goes on into the final part of the chapter, talking about during the birth of, or giving birth, and there were twins that were born, and so the midwife, the hand of of one of the twins comes out and then is pulled back in. But before that, a scarlet thread is tied around the hand and then pulled back. And that child ends up being named, is it Perez?
Breakthrough,
Yeah, Breakthrough Perez. And then the other twin was Zerah? Zerah.
Yeah.
And thus concludes chapter 38 of Genesis.
Yeah.
Takeaways for you today, young lady?
Takeaways. Oh, just that Judah ends up being the line from which Jesus comes through, and just his humbling himself. So he ends up, his name means praise, but he ends up really, so humbled by the experience that he becomes quite instrumental when it comes to Joseph. When meanwhile, Joseph's in the prison, wherever he is, and
We've just been sold to Potiphar at the end of the last chapter.
Yeah, so he becomes instrumental later on in the chapter, and how that humbling himself changes him. Yeah, that's what I got.
Who's this?
Don't know. Esa
Lucille. Okay. Hello, dear sister. Thank you for watching. So, takeaways for me, again, yes, like yourself, but how choices can, what is it, thinking about the choices that Judah made, and maybe he had the best intentions of trying to protect his younger son because he didn't want him to go the way of his older two sons. But in terms of deceiving Tamar and then her having to take matters into her own hand,
Yes.
so that was not good. And as he said, when he found out that it was Tamar who was masquerading as a temple prostitute, she's more righteous than me. And so the learnings that he took away from that, and as you said, dear, the line of Judah from which our Lord Jesus comes in the genealogy there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and just the his sons. What sort of what sort of evilness did they do?
That's interesting because
God to just
like we're just talking about how Jesus comes through Judah, and yet the two oldest sons, and Onan, doing evil in the sight of the Lord, and then the Lord killing them is like wozness.
Yeah.
But then I think on the other hand about grace, how through
he's not looking for perfection. Yeah, that was interesting, like how the other son to Onan dies because he was spilling his seed.
Yes.
And didn't want to give his first heir as own heirs.
So even at the risk of death, he still obeyed his dad up until a certain point, even though he didn't want to by the sounds of it.
That tradition of that time.
Yeah.
You gave your next child.
Yes.
Yeah.
That the practice at the time, like a surrogate father, if you will.
Yeah. But good evening.
It was a good evening. And you had 2 programs today, back to back. I went and visited my older cousin, Longo, celebrating her 70th birthday recently.
Lovely.
So just went and took a little present and catching up. And it's a good reminder, family, about our wider family, our ainga, and that always to keep in touch and to keep the lines of communication open. It's interesting, I think maybe the same for you, dear. When I was growing up, my cousins were my world, but then as you grow older and you end up losing touch. Do you?
Well, it's making the effort.
And that's the point too, making the effort to maintain relationships. Prioritising those relationships.
Not a case of having to, but
Wanting to. Yeah. So my cousin Longo that I'm talking about, she's pretty much been part of my life. She's 17 years older than me, so celebrating her 70th, you do the math how old I am, 53. And so she's been part of my life, well, my whole life pretty much. She used to live with us for a number of years before she married and had her own family. And then when we moved up from Porirua to Auckland, we were able to reconnect in that. So another of...
Shout out to her.
Yes, happy birthday, Longo. And the closest connection to Dad outside of my brothers, Mum, Berta and the kids to Dad, and also my grandfather, because she grew up back in the village in Vai'e. Hey, go Vai'e, sa whaka, ka maiki o le molipula. And she was actually raised by Grandpa. In fact, she was named after our grandmother Longo Mu, so she was named after her. And so apart from that connection, she also is a great treasure of knowledge and ngafa and all that sort of thing. It's priceless having that sort of treasure, or as we say in some, mea sina. So make the most of those things. Man, I should start recording some interviews with her to find out more, because it would be a great treasure after she's gone. Not saying she's going anywhere anytime soon. That can be passed on to her children and grandchildren, the next generation. Don't forget your roots, my friend.
Yeah. Yes, so that was good to hear about your night.
And you had a good night and a good session.
Swim, didn't you?
Yeah, so instead of we try and exercise together, but when we can't, Berta walked the dogs today, and so I went to Papatoi Pools and was just doing a few laps, not swimming, but walking laps and that, and having a bit of a spa. So that was cool. Yeah. Awesome. So it was a great day. Yeah. And
let's do it all tomorrow.
Yeah, do it all again tomorrow. So La Sela, yes, Matariki, celebrating Matariki. So it was blessed to be part of an event out in Otara Town Centre today. So shout out to Otara Health and all the amazing providers putting on a great Matariki celebration.
That's good, eh?
Yes. So tomorrow, day 39, if you don't already know what is this whole thing about, Sweet Honey from the Rock. Where's your copy? We got your copy?
I do.
Sweet Honey from the Rock, which is written by Alberta, but in honour of her brother who died before she was born, who she's named after, Albert.
Yes.
And so please go to Albert's page, Sweet Honey from the Rock, like, share, and if you like what you're seeing, hey, why not invest in a book? And you too can journey alongside us as we continue to delve into the book of Genesis. So still 11 days to go in this round, and we're going to be looking at Exodus next once that book is complete as well. So that'll be good. Great, and we
being blessed by doing it together.
Together as a couple, and encourage our couples as parents, doing the reading, being accountable, doing your learnings, and filling in the practice portion.
So true.
Practice. Yeah. Which is an acronym, is that the word? Yeah, acronym for different things, which would be part of your daily life. And we've had some great feedback already from some people that are doing it on their own, friends of ours, and they found that it's been a blessing for them and their marriage as well. So just encourage you. And so that's,
no spectators, just participators.
Oh, yeah. So that we can learn from the word and then become agitators.
Agitators for what?
For Jesus.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, that's us.
Yes.
Night.
Lacella, thank you for watching. We appreciate your support. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Go out and change the world.